So your work's been marked. How do you view, save and share your feedback? Well, you need to go to the Any page where you submitted your work and go to the Turn It In link. This time you should be able to see that your grade is viewable, which means it's been marked. So now we can check out the feedback. Go ahead and click on the title of your submitted work and it'll take you to the Turn It In page. Here you'll see there are bubbles now appearing on your work. These are the quick marks, and you can expand the instructor feedback layer by clicking on it, and you can see that if there are any text comments left, these will be there in the paper. But for the marker in this case, they've mostly used these quick marks. These quick marks here are these bubbles which are expandable. So you can see who's marked it, in this case me, and I've got a link to my office hours. So I guess that's the first tip. Once you've had a look at your feedback, you've digested the marking criteria in your grade, and you're still not sure how you can go about improving or making the most of your feedback, then go and see the marker in their office hours, take with them this work and the feedback, and sort of ask them to just provide a little bit more advice on how you can improve your work. So go down through the assessment and click on these bubbles. You'll see that they're coded slightly differently. So in this case, text is highlighted, so it relates to this highlighted text here. It's kind of self-explanatory. Some of them won't have any association at all. But you can see this one here is a slightly different icon associated with it. Now this is the rubric icon, and you can see that it's got a rubric there of criterion 1, and the comments here are relating to engagement and reading. So what do we mean by rubric? Well, we can go over here and view that rubric, and for geography we tend to have 5 rubric. These are the standard norm criteria, but your assessment might have different ones. But criteria 1, for example, is relevance to the material, criteria 2, knowledge and depth, etc. You can read that there. Now, depending on how the marker has responded to this criteria, they might have done it differently. So for me, we've got one speech bubble here, which is about the relevance of material. But for criterion 3, I've got no speech bubbles, but I've got a summary text. So as long as there's something for each criteria, then the marker has fulfilled their responsibilities in responding to this rubric, either as a bubble, which you can click on here, or as the text. Text summaries. So for these bubbles, you just go back to the work and you go back down, click through it, and sort of see where these rubrics are and what criterion they're associated with. Match that up with the criteria, and you should have submitted the submission sticker, so you can have a look, see how your grade fits in here. 68. Read about the criteria, how it fits in. If you met that criteria, then that should hopefully help you understand how you can improve and how you met the aims of the report. Next thing to do is to download this. The best thing to do is download a current view, because then you can have your feedback that you can save and go back to in the future, but also share. Maybe you want to have for your next personal tutor meeting, and you need to provide a summary of the work that you've been doing. So this is as a PDF, viewing your work. You see these speech bubbles or these pop-ups are no longer dynamic, but each one is numbered or labelled, relevance of material in this case. So we can go down, scroll down past the submission sticker, you'll see the grade, and then you'll see each of those bubbles is expanded, so it's got the full text there, and you can see as well the criteria bubbles there. So criteria 1, I've got my comments there. And if I go down, if for the criteria where we have the text, they are down at the bottom. So I really encourage you to save this. You can save that then. Maybe create a file on your working directory. So I've got on here feedback, and I'm putting all my reports into one directory. It makes sense just to save it by the year, and then the level of the course that I'm in, maybe the module code. I can save that, and then I can look at my feedback. And then when I come back to it, I can see like, oh, I've got one here from the first year, one here from my third year, and I can see the modules, and I can go and have a look and see how I've improved or how the grades are changing. So you've got a good record there. And I'd encourage you to do that not just for your coursework, which you're downloading off your Grademark as I've just demonstrated, but do it for your exams as well. Create a little Word document and just type out some summary sort of feedback for each time you look through your exams, each time you meet with your personal tutor and you discuss it. Write down some of the things that you're doing well, some of the things that you could do to improve. And you're really using that feedback to develop your understanding, and hopefully your grades will increase as you go on through the course. So I hope that's been helpful. Thank you very much.